Hi, my dear fellow. Good evening, all of you. Welcome to Cynthia IS. This is SP.SITAREHInd from Cynthia IS. Cynthia IS is a top-notch leading academy in India under the guidance of SP.SITAREHInd. So today I am going to take lecture emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence and what is the effect of bureaucratic attitude and politicians and social thinkers. So let's begin. Just try to understand emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. Anyone can become angry. That is easy. But angry with the right person at the right degree at the right time for the right purpose. This is not easy. This word is written by Aristotle in Nicomachean Ethics. Anyone can become angry. Anyone become angry. Anyone can become angry. That is easy. That is easy. Anyone can become angry. That is easy. But to be angry with the right time, but to be angry with the right time, but to be angry with the right person, angry with the right person, angry with the right person to the right degree, to the right degree at the right time, at the right time for the right purpose, for the right purpose, for the right purpose. This is not easy. This is not easy. Understood? Anyone can become angry, that is easy. But angry to be the right person, to the right degree, at the right time, for the right purpose, this is not easy. Easy. This quote is by Aristotle in the Nicomachean Ethics. By Aristotle. Understood? So this quote is most important factor to understand the emotional intelligence. If you study the books of emotional intelligence written by Daniel Goleman, professor of Harvard University, then you understand emotional intelligence very easily and very quickly, and you can do something well in your life. How to control emotion, how can you understand the emotional need of any person, and how can you sustain is totally depend on individual personality. Okay, let's begin. Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is a psychological theory Emotional intelligence, emotional intelligence is a emotional intelligence is a psychological theory, psychological theory. Emotional intelligence is a psychological theory developed in the developed in the developed in the 1990 1919 Peter Salovey and Peter Salovey and Peter Salovey and John Mayer and John Mayer. Understood? Emotional intelligence is a psychological theory developed in the 1919 by Peter Salovey and John Mayer. Next point, emotional intelligence is the ability to perceive emotional intelligence emotional intelligence is the ability to perceive is the ability to perceive ability to perceive emotional intelligence is the ability to perceive emotion perceive emotion to understand perceive emotion to access perceive emotion to access generate emotion emotion to access generate emotion so as to assist so as to assist thought to understand emotion to understand emotion. Have you any problem? If you have any problems, then you ask to me. Don't hesitate. Mr. Gaurav, please understand it. To understand emotion and emotional knowledge and emotional knowledge emotional knowledge. Got my point, all of you? Have any problem? Okay, next. Hello, battery is low battery is low. So let's sub problem, please just wait. Okay, I am sorry for 1 minute, all of you, don't hesitate. Okay, to reflectively regulate, to reflectively regulate, to reflectively regulate emotion, so as to promote emotional, so as to promote emotional, so as to promote emotional and intellectual growth, emotional and intellectual growth, intellectual growth. Understood? To promote emotional and intellectual growth. It means how to enhance your intellectual growth. Next point. In short, I am telling one thing to you there. In short, emotional intelligence is the ability to identify emotional intelligence is the ability to identify identify ability to identify, assess and control, assess and control assess and control one's own emotion, one's own emotion, one's own emotion, one's own emotion and the emotion of other, one's own emotion and the emotion of other, and the emotion of others, and emotion of others, one's own emotion and the emotion of other. One's own emotion and the emotion of other, and the emotion of others. Next point. E.L. Thorndike described E.L. Thorndike E.L. Thorndike described E.L. Thorndike described E.L. Thorndike described social intelligence as the social intelligence as the social intelligence as the skill of understanding, as the skill of understanding, as the skill of understanding and managing other and managing others. Have any problem, all of you? Okay, let's go. Understanding and managing others. In 1983, Howard Gardner described in 1983 in 1983 skills of understanding. In 1983 in 1983 Howard Gardner described Howard Gardner Howard Gardner described Howard Gardner described the concept of multiple intelligence the concept of multiple intelligence multiple intelligence the concept of multiple intelligence. Six kind of intelligence. Six kind of intelligence. Six kind of intelligence. Six kind of intelligence human beings have. Six kind of intelligence human being have. Human being have. Six kind of intelligence human beings. Today there are nine. Today there are nines. Today there are nines. Today there are nines. Intelligence. Nine intelligence. Today there are nine intelligence. Today there are nine intelligence and six multiple intelligence. Today are nine intelligence and more may be and more maybe and more maybe. Next point. The multiple intelligence are the multiple intelligence are the multiple intelligence are the multiple intelligence are multiple intelligence are. Point 1, write it. Visual verbal linguistic intelligence. Point 1. Verbal. Point 1, verbal linguistic intelligence. verbal linguistic intelligence. Under it we will discuss verbal linguistic intelligence. Under it we will discuss some key point. Well developed verbal skills. Well developed verbal skills. Well developed verbal skills and sensitivity to the and sensitivity and sensitivity to the sound, sensitivity to the sounds, meaning, rhythm of words and rhythm of words, sound, meaning, rhythm of words, sensitivity to the sound. Understood? That is the most important line. Just quote it and intake in your mind. That's important. Next point. Logical mathematical intelligence. Logical mathematical intelligence. Mathematical intelligence. Logical mathematical intelligence. Logical mathematical intelligence. Logical mathematical intelligence is ability to think conceptually, ability to think, ability to think conceptually and ability to think conceptually and abstractly, abstractly, and capacity to discern and capacity to discern and capacity to discern logical and numerical pattern, logical and numerical pattern, numerical pattern. Understood? Logical and conceptually and abstractly, logical and numerical pattern. Got my point? Next point, spatial visual intelligence. Spatial Spatial visual intelligence. Spatial visual intelligence. Spatial visual intelligence. Under it we will discuss some important point. Point 1, capacity to think, capacity to think, capacity to think in image, capacity to think in image and picture, image and picture, to visualize, to visualize accurately and abstractly, accurately and abstractly. Next point, bodily kinesthetic intelligence. Bodily kinest bodily kinesthetic bodily kinesthetic intelligence. Intelligence. Under it we will discuss ability to control one's body, ability to control one's body, ability to control one's body, movement, one's body movement, and to handle object, and to handle objects, and to handle objects, and to handle objects skillfully, and to handle objects skillfully. Next, musical intelligence. Musical intelligence. Musical intelligence. Musical intelligence describe ability to produce, ability to produce, ability to produce and appropriate, and appropriate and appropriate rhythm, pitch, rhythm, pitch, rhythm, pitch, and timbre, and timbre. Rhythm, pitch, and timbre. Rhythm, pitch, and timbre. Next point. Got my point? Have any problem, all of you? So just enjoy your life. Okay, let's interpersonal intelligence. Interpersonal intelligence. Interpersonal intelligence. Interpersonal intelligence. Under it we will discuss interpersonal intelligence. Point 1, capacity to detect and respond capacity to detect and response capacity to detect and respond capacity to detect and respond appropriately to think to the moods comma motivation desire of others motivation desires of other desire of others desire of others. Next, intrapersonal intelligence. Intrapersonal intrapersonal intelligence. Intrapersonal intelligence. नेक्स्ट क्या है इंट्रापर्सनल इंटेलिजेंस. Under it we will discuss intrapersonal intelligence, capacity to be self aware, capacity to be self aware, capacity to be self aware and in tune with and in and in tune with and in tune with inner feeling, inner feeling and in tune with inner feeling, values, belief, thinking and process. Thinking and process. Inner feeling, values, belief, thinking and process. Okay, next point. Self aware. Self aware. Self aware. Self aware. Knows one's emotion. Knows one's emotion. Knows one emotion. Strength. Strength, comma, knows one's emotion, strength, weakness, 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 drives, values, values, comma, goals and goals and values, goals and recognize their impact. Recognize their impact. Recognize their impact. Recognize their impact on others. On others. On others while using gut feeling. While using gut feeling. While using gut feeling. While using gut feeling to guide decision. To guide decision. While using feelings guide decision. Next point, self regulation. Self regulation. Self regulation. Under it we will discuss self regulation. Self regulation, manage or redirect. Manage or redirect. Manage or redirect one's disruptive. One's disruptive. One's disruptive emotion. Emotion and impulse. Emotion and impulse. Emotion and impulse. Emotion and impulse, and adapt to changing, and adapt to changing, and adapt to changing circumstances. Circumstances. Next point, social skill. Social skills. Next point, social skills. Next point, social skills. Social skills. Social skills. Social skills. Under it we will discuss some key point. Manage others' emotion. Manage others' emotion. Manage others' emotion to move people, to move, to move people in the desired direction. In the desired direction. In the desired direction. Next point, empathy. Empathy. नेक्स्ट है empathy. Empathy, recognize, understand, recognize, recognize, understand, recognize, understand, and consider other, and consider and consider others people's people feelings. Consider other people feeling, especially when making decision. Especially when making decision. Making decision. Especially when making decision. Next point. Motivation. 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 Motivation, motivate oneself, motivate, motivate oneself to achieve for the sake of to achieve for the sake of to achieve for the sake of achievement. For the sake of achievement. Next, एसी बंद कर दो, एसी क्लोज कर दो, एसी बंद कर दो, एसी. Motivate oneself to achieve for the sake of achievement. एसी क्लोज कर दो, एसी. Motivation. Next point. EI is often written as EI is often written EI is often written as EQ, as EQ. Understood? Emotional questions. EQ, emotional intelligence, is often written as EQ. Next point. Perhaps to contrast it with IQ, the common measure of intelligence the common measure of intelligence the common measure of intelligence. Point 1. The common measure of intelligence. Point 1. Emotional intelligence is associated emotional intelligence is associated with many good with many good things such as academic, such as academic and occupational and occupational academic and occupational success resistance success resistant success resistance to stress better relationship to stress better relationship. Occupational success resistance and stress better relationship. Next point. Naturalistic intelligence. Naturalist intelligence. Naturalist intelligence. Ability to recognize and categorizing ability to recognize ability to recognize and categorize and categorize plants, animal, plants, animals and other object in nature and other objects in nature. Got my point? Have any problem? Okay. Next point. Existential intelligence. Existential intelligence. Under it we will discuss sensitivity and capacity. Sensitivity and capacity. Sensitivity and capacity to tackle deep questions, to sensitivity and capacity to tackle deep questions deep question about human existence, about human existence, about human existence, such as point 1, what is the meaning of life, such as what is the meaning of life, such as what is the meaning of life, why do we do, why do we die, why do we die, why do we die, what is the meaning of life and why do we die, how did we get hers, how did we get hers, how did we how did we get here, got my point. Next point, Goleman also developed Goleman also developed a model of a model of a model of EI, a model of EI, a model of EI as a wide array of competency, as a wide array of competencies, as a wide array of competencies and skills and skills that drive leaders' performance, that drive leaders' performance, leaders' performance, that drive leaders' performance consist of 5 areas, consist of 5 areas, consist of 5 areas. Point 1, ability to interpret the meaning that, point 1, ability to, point 1, ability to interpret the meaning interpret the meaning that emotion convey, that emotion convey, that emotion convey regarding relationship, regarding relationship such as threat, sadness, threat, sadness often accompanies loss, such as threat, sadness often accompanies loss. Next point. Point 2. Ability to understand complex feeling. Point 1. Point 2. Ability to understand complex feeling. Complex feeling. Ability to understand complex feeling is simultaneous feeling of love. Next point. Love and hate. Love and hate are blend such as love and hate are blend or blend such as a such as a such as a combination of fear, combination of fear, combination of fears, combination of fears and surprise, fear and surprise, fear and surprise. Point number 4th. Point 4th. Combination of fears are. Point number 4th. Ability to recognize likely transition. Ability to recognize likely transition, likely transition, likely transition among emotion, emotion such as the transition from satisfaction, such as transition from from satisfaction, from anger to shame, from anger to shame. Next point, emotional facilitation of thinking. Emotional facilitation of thinking. Emotional facilitation of emotional facilitation of thinking. Emotional facilitation of thinking. Emotional facilitation of thinking. ये कहाँ जाता है? Emotional facilitation of thinking. Under it we will discuss point 1, emotional facilitation of thinking. Emotion prioritized thinking. Emotion prioritize thinking. Emotion prioritize thinking by directing attention by directing attention to important information, to important information. Important information. Next point, information. Next point, emotion are sufficiently, point number 2, emotion are sufficiently vivid and vivid, sufficiently vivid and available that they can be generated as they can be generated as they can be generated as adds to judge adds to judgment and memory comma write it concerning concerning feeling. Next, emotional mood swings change. Next point, emotional mood swing emotional mood swing emotional mood swings change the individual change the emotional mood swing change the individual change the individual individual perspective individual perspective from optimistic to pessimistic from optimistic to pessimistic. Encouraging consideration of multiple point of view. Encouraging consideration encouraging consideration of encouraging consideration of multiple point of view. Multiple point of view. Next point, perception, appraisal and expression of emotion. Next point, write it. Have any problem all of you? Just enjoy your life very peacefully. Perception, appraisal and expression. Perception, appraisal, perception, appraisal and expression of emotion and expression of emotion. Expression of emotion. And expression of emotion. This topic is also very essential all of you. So please just read Just study before, come here and take the class. That's good. Okay, write it something. Ability to identify emotion. Point 1. Ability to identify emotion. Ability to identify emotion in one's in one's ability to identify emotion in one's physical state, comma, and feeling, and thought, feeling and thought. Next point. Point 2. Ability to identify emotion ability to identify emotion identify emotion ability to identify emotion in other people in other people, design artwork, design artwork design artwork through language, through language. Next point. Language, sound, appearance, sound, appearance, comma, sound, appearance, and behavior. Artwork, design, language, behavior, and appearance. Understood? Next point. Point third. Point third. Ability to discriminate between accurate and inaccurate, accurate and inaccurate, accurate and inaccurate, honest versus honest versus dishonest, honest versus dishonest expression of feeling, expression of feeling. expression of feeling. Next point, component of emotional intelligence ये क्या हो रहा है? Component of emotional intelligence. Component of emotional intelligence applicable to workplace. Applicable to workplace. Component of emotional intelligence applicable to workplace. Point number 1, self awareness. Point 1, self awareness. Point 1, self awareness. Point 1, self awareness. Point 2, point 1, self awareness. Point 2, self management. Self management. Point 3, self management, self awareness. Point 3, social awareness. Social awareness. Point 4, social skill. Social skills. Okay, my dear fellow, I am extremely very sorry today because I have some urgent works. Next class, I will teach you all things in a detailed manner. Thank you so much, all of you. Thanks.